Hi everybody, I'm Heath Kelsey. I'm the Director of the Integration Application Network at the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the university's experience and WWF's experience with ecosystem health report cards and how this project fits into that, and what we mean by ecosystem health report cards, and then how they can help us in managing our water resources. The University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science has had a partnership with WWF for about 6 years now. It started around 2014. We've worked on report cards for the Orinoco River in South America, the Tool River in Mongolia, of course the Kafue River in Zambia, and the Upper Rio Grande River is something that we're just starting with the partnership now, and that's the part of the Rio Grande that's in the United States and North America. And of course, here we are at the Kwando River report card workshop. Healthy Rivers for All is a partnership, as I said, between the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science and WWF. There are a couple of things that are really fundamental here, and that's that we need to recognize that healthy river ecosystems provide lots of benefits for both the natural world and for people. We really care about those things. They're all really important. But there are also lots of things that are affecting the health of the ecosystem and our waters. There are lots of things that compete for water, and lots of different activities that we do that impact the quality of our water resources and our river ecosystems. So we need to account for those things and develop new approaches for managing our ecosystems and our water resources and rivers that account for all of those different factors. And that's really the reason why Healthy Rivers for All was born, and why ecosystem health report cards became part of the toolbox within Healthy Rivers for All. We've worked on several projects together, as I said. The ones in green are the ones that we've worked on with WWF, and again it's the Orinoco River in Colombia, South America, and Ecuador, the Kafue, and now the Kwando River, which is why we're all here, the Tool River in Mongolia, and as we said earlier, we're starting to work on the Upper Rio Grande River in North America as well. And so through the years we've gained a good amount of experience in going through the process of developing these report cards. All of these other blue dots are places that we have worked with local partners in developing report cards at the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science. So Chilika Lake in India, Long Island Sound, Chesapeake Bay was actually the first one that we started in the United States. And as you said, as we talked about, we want to balance the interest between the natural world and people. I mean, we can't just manage the river systems only for the natural world or only for people, because we need to take into account all of those things, all of those perspectives. And this is an example from the Orinoco River Basin report card, and we had the natural world represented, of course. We had ecosystems and landscapes and indicators for biodiversity that we wanted to look at, but also water supply, water quantity for lots of different purposes, including drinking and industry and transportation, etc. People and culture. Our rivers are really important cultural values for people. We need to account for that. They're also very important for our economy and management and governance. We need to understand how well we're managing these resources. This is the example from the Kafue River report card. And as you can see, the big target over here, the wheel, presents the information that really is the score for the report card and for the river basin overall. And you can see very quickly the basin gets a C overall as a score. So it's not doing really, really great, but it's also not doing really terribly either. But then beyond that, you can start to see a little bit more information about where things might need a little bit of improvement and where things we feel are doing a little bit better. So in human health and nutrition, we can see we've got a little bit of work to do. We've got disease burden that's really a bit of a problem. But in other areas like economy and water quality and quantity, we're doing a little bit better, and we want to preserve those things. So So we want to improve our situation here, and we want to maintain the things that we're doing a little bit better. We can also start to look at how we're doing around the basin. So where are we doing well within the catchment for the Kafue River, the lower Kafue River, and where are we not doing as well? And you can see here we've got a B grade, a B minus, all the way down to a C minus in region 3 here. So we can see also where things are doing a little bit better and where things are doing might need a little bit of improvement. As we've gone through the process of developing these ecosystem health report cards, we have developed a process that if we follow this process, we will come out of the other end with an ecosystem health report card that's really valuable and included lots of people along the way. The first phase is really a planning phase, and for the Kwando River Basin, that's really that's already happened. That's why we're all here, and that involves things like, well, what do we think the things are that we'll be talking about within the Kwando River Basin? What are the things that we think are going to be important aspects to this river basin? And then, who are the people that really need to be in the room when we're having that conversation about developing a report card for these things? And so that's why you guys are here. You are the experts for your region and for this river system in the things that we'll be talking about. So you are the people that are best suited to create this ecosystem health report card. There's no one else in the world that is better suited to prepare this ecosystem health report card than the people that are assembled in this room. So keep that in mind. The next phase, phase 2 of the report card process, is actually creating this document, this report card. And this is for the Florida Everglades report card. But the process is basically 5 steps. The workshop that you're in over for the next couple of days is really going to focus on the first 3 of these steps: conceptualization, choosing indicators, and then determining thresholds. And other presentations will go into this a little bit more in depth, but the key factors here are, in the conceptualization phase, we need to understand what are the things that we really care about for this river system, what are the most important things that we need to consider, and what are the things that we value in that system. What also are the things that are driving condition of those things that we care about. And once we understand those things, we can then start to choose the things that we're going to measure. For all those things that we value within the Kwando River Basin, what are the things that we can measure that reflect on that? And that's choosing indicators. So that'll be a big part of the workshop here over the next couple of days as well. When we have those indicators, we also need to understand, well, what do we want to achieve? For each one of these things that we're measuring, we need to have a target, a goal to achieve for that particular thing we're measuring. So for all of the indicators that we've chosen that reflect on the things that we care about, we're setting a target for that, for what we're going to achieve. And if you think about it, when you put all of those things together, that has created a vision for where you want the river system to be, what a healthy ecosystem looks like. And that's not just a couple of people saying that. That's a big group of people. The experts in the region for the Kwando River are developing these targets and developing a shared vision for what the ecosystem can become. And so that's a really important part of the report card process, and is really fun. And I wish I was going to be there with you to walk through it with you and be present as you're developing this. The next step is to calculate the grades. So we have a target for each one of those things we're measuring, and we have data to assess against those targets. How close are we to achieving these? And then we can develop a scoring system and a way to achieve grades. The step 5 is communicating the report card results. So what are all of this work that we've done as a group, what is all that trying to tell us? What is all the data and all of the results actually showing us for the Kwando River system? And we communicate those results to people. And again, that's through the report card document, but it's also, excuse me, using a host of other communication techniques. We use social media, we invite newspapers and press and radio and things like that to really get the message out. So there are lots of different ways to communicate the results. And then, of course, the third phase is how do we raise the grade? I mean, we're all here to try and improve conditions in the Kwando River system, improve our management, our natural resources conditions in the Kwando River Basin. So how do we take all of this and the messages that we've created and the data that we've generated and the collaborations that have formed as we go through this process to help improve conditions? Let's figure out how to maintain the condition of the things that are doing well and then improve the condition of the things that might need a little bit more attention. The process of going through this should be really fun. We have lots of activities that we've designed to get information from lots of different ways and from lots of different people. It should be a lot of fun, and it always is. And it's important to know that, again, everybody in this room has information and knowledge that can be brought to bear on this report card. It's all equally important. We need to hear from everybody in this room. And we also request that you approach this, yeah, you've got a particular perspective to share, right? You're representing a certain industry or a certain conservation group. But then we also hope that everybody can take that, that professional hat off and approach this as, I am a citizen of this basin. What is best for the overall condition of the basin? And then again, we have lots of activities that can help generate that kind of perspective. And it's also important to know that, yes, everybody's got their own perspective, but all of those perspectives are valid. And we need to respect everybody's opinions and perspectives about condition. This is an example from the Mississippi River Basin. The Mississippi River Basin for the United States is an incredibly important watershed, economically, culturally, and for natural systems as well. So we have to have people in the room that represent the agricultural community. So we have the corn growers and the cattlemen and the soybean growers all there. Industries, so we have the barge companies that transport lots of materials up and down the Mississippi River. We have the Corps of Engineers that are responsible for maintaining the waterways and the locks and the dams that help that transportation and hydropower. We have the the NGOs that represent the wildlife and recreational opportunities, all sitting at the same room, coming up with a kind of a shared vision for what is happening in this, shared understanding of what is happening in this part of the river basin, and then carrying that through to creating a shared vision for what that part of the basin could be. And that's what we're going to do here over the next few days for the Kwando River Basin. As an example, obviously we've been through this process for the Kafue River Basin. The first workshop was held in March of 2018 in Zambia. And again, we had lots of different people representing lots of different organizations, almost 40 participants and almost 30 organizations representing government, non-government, academics, newspaper, and industry. We're all present and all work together on the Kafue River Basin report card. And that's important because the results that come out of this, when you present the results of the ecosystem health report card, it's important that people understand that it's not just a couple of people that are developing this. This is a big group of people that have developed this together with lots of different perspectives, and that is a very powerful message. I also want to let you know, Simon and I from the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science are really disappointed that we can't be there with you for this stakeholder workshop. But we also need you to know that you're in good hands. The group that completed the Kafue River report card is with you today. Many of the same people are there creating this report card for the Kwando River Basin, and so the expert group is alive and well, and you're going to be in good hands over the next couple of days. So I will leave it at there, and I do hope that you guys have a great time over the next couple of days, and really look forward to seeing what you guys put together. Thanks.